Just spending a moment just coming into the space because we've kind of not been together for a few weeks. And so just spending a moment just getting into the energy of each other and the space that we're in, even though it's online and we can't see or touch each other, our energy exists in that space. And just as we absorb that energy from each other, we feel it in our bodies. That space where nothing exists but the energy, no thoughts, no emotions, nothing to do or plan. It's simply energy that is in our space, in our personal space. And as we kind of examine or explore that energy, we pay attention to where we notice it in our body and in our hearts and minds and our spirits. As we do a short little energy check in or a weather check in with our bodies and minds and hearts, where are we right here in this moment? Just noticing where your mind is at. Is your mind right here paying attention to our energy, or has it started to wander to Sunday dinner or time with the grandchildren or planning for next week? And if so, just acknowledge, that's curious. And then come back to your weather check in. And that's a little trick you can do all the time as you sit in stillness or mindfulness, to just always go back to your check in when you notice that your thoughts or your emotions have taken over. And as you sit with that awareness, start by setting an intention for this morning's mindfulness sitting. Your intention can be anything. It can be to sit in gratitude or to work on thought and emotion, loving kindness. And with that intention, bring out in you that part of you that is determined, determined to stay with the intention. to persevere through any storms that might start to whirl, thoughts from the past, anxiety about the future, emotions that might take over. Just notice. Notice and honor that they are part of our human condition, but also knowing that we have the power to control those thoughts and emotions, to allow them to rise as we just bring curiosity. As we just bring the curiosity to what's going on inside of us. No need to analyze or worry. And if, when those things start to rise, if you start to feel a little bit of anxiety around them, you can honor them that they are present and try putting them in a cloud like we have talked about before, knowing that behind the cloud is sunshine and we can watch it drift through that beautiful blue sky. Or we can always go back to the breath, knowing that awareness of the breath brings stillness. We can also bring awareness to sound. All of us are in the city right now, and the sounds may be more vibrant than when we are in the country at the cottage by the lake. But we don't need to get attached. We just simply notice the humming of a fan or the cars driving by. Just try for a few moments without my voice to bring the awareness to the sound and without getting attached, just notice. Hmm. And then open the awareness away from whatever that sound was and move on to the next. Just noticing where your mind is right now. A gentle reminder to go back to the sound. And now, as we embrace the gentleness of sound in our awareness, we can also imagine sound that we find very soothing and calming. We don't actually have to be sitting by the water, but we can imagine that sound because we've all experienced it. So, just imagining for a moment that we are approaching a beautiful white sandy beach. The sand is so soft on our toes as we leave our shoes behind and walk barefoot in this sand. The warmth of the sun is just embracing every toe as we imagine the grains going through our toes and on top of our feet. Maybe digging your toes a little bit down to feel some coolness under the surface. And then we walk one foot in front of the other slowly towards the water as we stand just a little bit above where the tide is coming in. We're just feeling the very, very soft ripples of that soft, salty water. And we just let that water just tease our toes a little bit, cooling them down from the warm sand. And we look out and see the most magnificent colors of blues and greens with the white caps. And for a moment, we stop and everything just becomes still as we take in the beautiful sight of this gorgeous ocean and the sound of the waves just very gently moving up towards the shore. And every now and again, we hear the seabirds, the gulls, the flying fish. And the sound of the birds adds to the beauty of this picture in front of us. And as we embrace the sight of the different colors of blues and greens, we also embrace the sound of the water and the birds. And we can hear a gentle blowing of the palm trees. And that salt air that is just ever so slightly blowing. But now we feel it. We feel it on our cheeks. We feel the warmth of the sun as it embraces us and puts its beautiful rays around us. And we take another step forward where our feet are right in the water as that beautiful white cap just swirls around our ankles. And then another step. Now the water is up to our shins. We feel the beautiful healing of that salt water. There's no rocks on the bottom, it's just pure sand. And maybe as we look down, we bring into that awareness some tiny little fish that's just swimming around trying to avoid us, but we can see them as they move quickly through the water. And then we walk out a little further, and now the water is up to our waist. And we're still drawing in the magnificence of this beautiful ocean. And suddenly we notice there's a playfulness in us coming up. Every now and again, a wave comes and just kind of knocks us off balance a bit. And then another wave until we just give into that playfulness of just bouncing and surfing and going under and surfing on top of those waves. And we can't help but laugh because this is our inner child coming out to play. We've got the warmth of the sun and the warmth of the water and the waves coming at us, and they get a little bit, just ever so slightly, they get a little bit higher. We walk out to where they're even higher still, and we just surf in on the wave, and then walk back out to surf in on the wave again. And we really feel what's in our hearts as we bounce in and out of the water, getting wet from head to toe, filled with fun and laughter. And suddenly we realize as we bounce around in the waves that we don't have a care in the world because right now, right in this moment, we are embracing nature and nature is embracing us. And then we allow ourselves to just give in to the waves as we lie on our back or float on our stomach and just let the waves take us wherever it wants to take us. We've just let go of everything. And we are floating in the healing power of the ocean, the salt, the air. And then you stand on the ocean floor again, allowing your feet to nestle in the sand. As you start to slowly and gently make your way back to the sand, embracing every wave, embracing the colors and the sounds again. As you leave the ocean behind and you make your way back to a lovely, soft, comfortable lounge chair, just positioned in the place that makes you happy, that fills you with joy. It might be under a tree or in the sun. But it's in a place where you can see all of the water, all of the beach. And now, in your awareness, you're hearing the sound of children laughing, giggling, and making sand castles and running in and out of the waves, just like you did when you were there with your inner child. And the sound of that child's laughter brings you back to your childhood again. As you feel, you don't think, you just feel what that inner child is telling you. You can feel the release of all those adult worries that we have. And you bring into your awareness that laughter. And not only is it in your awareness, but you bring it into your body. And as you bring that awareness into your body, you start to realize how light your body feels when you're in touch with that inner child. And when you're in touch with that inner child, you're able to let go of all you imagine the judgment of others to be. Because everyone expects the inner child to be playful and happy, screaming or squealing with delight. And so you can do that too. You don't need to worry what others think. It's you being you. It's you getting in touch and letting the feelings of our body, the whirling emotions and thoughts, letting them just drift away in that water. Knowing that your inner child can come out and play at any time. It can come out and play in our imagination, in our memory. It can also literally come out to play when we're with others. And as you're imagining this little trip to the beach, just spend a moment connecting to your body to see how the beach, the ocean, the waves, the sounds have affected how your body is feeling. So you're checking in on the weather just once again, like we did at the beginning. Has there been a shift? Do you notice any muscles that were previously tense, maybe loosening up? Any aches or pains that maybe went away when you were getting in touch with that inner child? And as you sit and take that whole beach scene in from your comfortable chair, you realize you're feeling a little bit cool. And so you take your fluffy, warm towel or blanket and wrap yourself tightly like a cocoon. And just stay with that warmth of that hug that you're giving yourself for a moment until you feel ready to emerge from the cocoon, to emerge to the person that you are feeling you are right now, the playful, mindful, inner child that has just given you the most treasured gift of mindful moments at the beach. And when you're ready to emerge, do it in your own time as I'm going to stop talking for a few moments. May you be strong. May you find peace. May you honor that inner child who can come out to play for a few moments or a longer period of time to just allow you to be in the moment.